So let's look at the first paragraph. Very simple, 2 sentences, and let's see what we can learn from this. We've got a couple of principles, some very, very simple ones. Paragraphs are made out of sentences. We have passive verbs, and we've got the structure of the opening paragraph, and then we've got some language, collocations, for example. So let's have a look. Use of sentences, verbs and end punctuation. If you remember in the title, there were no verbs and no end punctuation. In the paragraph though, we have verbs, 1 verb for each sentence, and we have end punctuation for each sentence. Another thing that we notice is the presence of the passive. Passive is created by using a be verb, so am, is, are, was, were, be, and another verb in the past participle, so often this is ed. So it's not just a straight active verb, we've also got a passive verb, and this is also a feature of academic writing. One function that the opening paragraph performs is to outline the main text. So the structure of the introduction is the same as the structure of the whole text. So if you see here in the first sentence, we begin with problems, and in the second sentence we talk about solving these problems with policy, education policy and research policy. So beginning of the paragraph we have problems, end of the paragraph we have solutions, and this will probably be the same structure as the whole text. Beginning of the text will talk about problems, the end of the text will talk about solutions, specifically policy. Another interesting thing we can see here is the idea of collocations. We have the word problem twice, and with the first one we get the verb faces, and in the second one we get the verb addressed. So face a problem and address a problem. So I'd just like to show you a collocation dictionary. This is OSDIC, it's a collocation dictionary, and if we type in the word problem, and if we look at what kind of verbs we can use together with this word, we can see here that face is an acceptable verb. Face a problem. He has been faced with all manner of problems. We also see the word address. And understanding which verbs we can use together with which nouns means that when we choose collocations, we choose words which readers can predict. And if a reader can predict a word, they will read your text very, very quickly. So in summary, from the introductory paragraph, we've learned a few principles about sentences, verbs, punctuation, that we can use passive verbs, and the structure of the introduction, the structure of the opening paragraph is the same as the structure of the main text. In this case, it's problem and then solution. And this will be a problem-solution genre. And with language, we've seen collocations, that similar words, or the same word, problem, we can use different verbs together with them. Face a problem, address a problem. So this is what we've learned by looking at 2 parts of a text. We've learned some principles about titles, we've learned some principles about introductory paragraphs, and we've also learned a little bit of language. Now we are in a better position to start writing.